Hi there and welcome to Essential Oil Talk Radio with Marc and Nikki. If you're frustrated with trying to manage your health and are looking for real information that challenges the status quo, you're in the right place. Coming up on the show today, we are going to talk about scientists who are now using CBD to help babies born with brain damage. They're having a preclinical study showing nearly 100% recovery rate. We'll talk a little bit about that. Some fun facts about CBD, like did you know it was illegal before it was even discovered? I mean, right? We're going to talk about facing fears with essential oil use, DIY poo-poo spray. Yes, That's actually the name of it. And a little bit about CBD and anxiety. As we know, our radio broadcast reaches over 2 million residents in 99 counties here in Texas. This is an amazing opportunity for small business owners who want to get their product or service in front of a lot of people. We're excited to announce a new 12-week advertising bundle for just $250. This advertising opportunity includes a professionally recorded and produced radio commercial that you create with KTSA's experienced production team. More information about how your business can take advantage is available on our website at eotalkradio.com.
Well, hello and welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're taking notes today because you're going to want to. So my family and I have been on vacation for the past week, and I want to tell you about an incident that still has me in awe, right? So we traveled up to Arkansas to see family, and one morning we decided, and when I say we, I mean I decided to go up to Mount Nebo. Now, I texted my uncle and said, hey, I'm going to Mount Tebow. That's what I said. And he was like, oh, have fun. It was just an inside joke. It was pretty funny. Anyway.
Sounds like something from Star Wars.
There you go. So we drove up to Mount Nebo. It's the highest point in Arkansas, from what I was told. Now, on the way up there, my stomach started feeling a little nauseated, right? Because it's a bunch of twists and turns to get up to the top of this mountain. Yes. So instead of busting out the DiGis, right, that's usually what I would bring with me, I took out the peace and calming because I could see my husband having the white knuckle syndrome on the steering wheel. Like he was holding on for dear life. And Michaela was in the back like, where are we going, Mom? I said, it's like a roller coaster at Disney World, right? She's like, I don't know. I don't think I like this. So anyway, we get to the top. There's a place that you can park. So we parked and I said, okay, I'm going to walk that little trail to the viewing point. And Michaela's like, no, please don't. Well, she started that whining. Mom, please don't go. Please. I was like, Michaela, you're going to be fine. Come here. Had the peace and calming, put it on my hands, 2 drops, rubbed it behind her neck, let her breathe it in. I rubbed it on me. Chris says I'm going into the gift shop. I was like, well, come here real quick. Give me a hug in case I never see you again. Just kidding. That last step is a boo-boo. Anyway, so I'm there. There's this little bench, right? It's about 30 yards in front, or behind, I should say, the ledge of that mountain. So I had Michaela sit there and watch me. And I walked down and she's like, Mom, be careful, be careful. I said, I'll be fine. I got to take some pictures of my products, girl. I did take some products with me. I got some really awesome photo shoots going on. Cool. Well, the next thing I knew, about 3 or 4 minutes later, she's like, hey, Mom, geez, you trying to make me jump off the mountain?
She was right behind you.
Yes. She's like, this isn't so bad. I'm like, no, it's beautiful, right? And I had her yell out something like, I love you, see if it would come back. Of course it didn't, but it was something to get her mind off of it. Well, like I'm saying, she was terrified. I took a picture of her on the rock. She finally got on the rock. I took a picture, and she's kind of like forcing that smile. But after about 5 minutes, no more forced smile. She's just all grinning from ear to ear. You know, she was able to face her fears. So that was pretty awesome. When we got back to the car, she says, you know what, Mom? When I get home to Texas, I'm going to ride the Rattler.
Oh, wow.
That's what she told me. She said, I'm ready to face all my fears. I said, you go, girl. And that comes from that peace and calming and the fact that Mom was doing it,
Sure.
you know, and she was a little bit scared for me. So that kind of intrigued her to go down there and kind of see what's up, you know. But I really believe 110% that peace and calming was definitely what did it for her. And as in regards to my nausea, I put a couple drops on a little tissue and just stuck it in the diffuser. You know what I'm talking about, right? The vent of the car.
Oh, yes.
Just simple drop and stuck it in the car vent. So it's going throughout the car. And I actually put 1 drop in my belly button. And by the time we got up to the top, it was about 10 minutes later, I was not nauseated whatsoever. So that's something new for me. And peace and calming is a blend that I've not used for that before.
Okay, but the diffusing part you did with DiGis, you said? No, peace and calming.
Peace and calming.
Really?
Just
did the whole thing?
Yeah, it just relaxed everybody in the car. And you know, I have a story about Chris, and I'll tell you that later on in the show.
All right. Outstanding. Facing your fears, overcoming challenges. It's all about growth.
That's right.
I mean, come on over here to the ledge.
I loved you. I'm just kidding.
Speaking of ledge, have you seen the new Spider-Man movie yet?
No.
Oh, I'm going to go see it for my birthday. Not on my
Oh,
birthday, but before my birthday. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and I'm going to take Brooke up there, see it with me, and we're just going to have that little father-daughter time. But, I mean, that's all about being out on the ledge and doing crazy stuff, right? So, anyway, just a
well,
little.
Spider-Man is pretty crazy,
He is
Mark.
kind of crazy. He's funny, though. I like
Yeah,
that show.
he's cute too.
All right, so we've got some CBD webinars coming up. I want to do a little self-promo here. I want to talk real quick about the CBD webinar we had this past week. Huge turnout. There's a lot of interest in CBD and its impact on the body. I'm excited that people are hungry for this information because it's going to improve the quality of life for a lot of folks. I love being a part of that journey. I'm really enjoying just the learning process of this whole thing as I'm digging in, doing my investigation, as I dig through it and come up with just some amazing tidbits of information. It's like, how come we don't know this? How come we're not hearing about it more? It needs to be more mainstream. And the radio is one way that we can really do that. So if you're interested in learning about CBD oil, how CBD oil can benefit your life or the life of someone you know and care about, head over to eotalkradio.com and click on the events tab for upcoming webinar information. So we'll be having webinars about how CBD helps with things like pain and inflammation, metabolic issues such as high blood pressure, blood sugar imbalances, and cholesterol problems, brain dysfunction, including Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, mood disorders, such as PTSD, anxiety, and depression. There is so much power. Just how CBD affects PTSD is absolutely amazing. It's a topic that I definitely want to spend some time on. CBD also has positive effects for organs of the body, such as the liver and the kidneys, and of course, the brain. So if you'd like to learn about how CBD works in the body and how to use it effectively, I want you to text CBD to 210-460-7704. That's 210-460-7704. One more time, 210-460-7704. And we'll notify you about upcoming CBD webinars that you can watch from anywhere. And of course, there will be a convenient replay available.
That's awesome, Mark. I was part of that webinar. I listened in. You did a great job, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You have some skills, boy. You got
Yeah.
some skills.
Well, I got some passion. I love what I do.
I know you do. All right, so part of my vacation, I hate to bring this up, but it's true. I stayed in a cabin with 11 people, and we only had 2 bathrooms, okay? So you know what I'm saying here? Everybody was doing their business. They're taking showers. It was a busy bathroom, to say the least. So today's recipe was inspired by vacationers everywhere because when you travel, we all end up doing something. We all got to go sometime, right? So today's spray is a poo-poo spray. That's right. I said it.
Well, before you get into the
Just go
details
with
of
it.
that,
I can't. I'm just going to scooch right over it because this is not very comfortable for me. I'm out of my
I'm
comfort
just
zone.
really curious. These people, did you know them or were they strangers?
I did know them, and they are strange. They're family. Yeah, so
Okay.
we haven't seen them in years.
Okay,
but
they're
we all got-
family. They're family
They're family,
strangers. I
cousins,
got
second
you.
cousins, third cousins, stuff
And you're
like
not
that.
quite sure how they use the bathroom, right?
Well,
And-
I know. I don't even want to talk about it. Let's
Well,
stop.
you're the one brought it up.
All right, so this is something that I take with me to put on the counter for people to use, right? Put in my travel bag. Everybody can use it. That way there's no qualm about who, I don't know, who was arranging lilacs in the bathroom. I don't know what it's about. But anyway, so you're going to take a 2-ounce spray bottle. You add 15 drops of peppermint oil, 10 drops of orange, 5 drops of lemon, and just fill that with tap water. That's what I did. You spray before and after you go, and then no one will know you went.
Yeah, that you did
that
your business.
You did your business in the bathroom. So I'll post that on our blog at eotalkradio.com. Just click on the blog tab.
So now, is it clear that, like, so you walk in and it's like, okay, this is what this for? I mean, is it labeled appropriately?
It's
So
labeled
okay,
poo-poo #2 spray. Before
Is that what you put on
and
the
after
label?
you go.
that's too funny.
And then I had this neon sign that pointed to it.
And what happens if they don't use it? Do they get in trouble, or
Yes.
they do?
I'm like the potty patrol.
You're the potty police.
Yes.
I love it. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about this really cool study going on. It's about CBD for brain damaged babies. Now, it's not just CBD by itself. It's combined with something else. I'm going to talk a little bit about this, kind of what's going on with this. I don't know if it's a phenomenon or what, but so scientists are in the midst of a clinical trial to see if CBD can save the lives of babies born with brain damage. Okay, the clinical trial is focused on babies born with what is called hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. Encephalopathy, that's got to be it. Or HIE, that's what I'll be referring to it, right? So I can just get through it. Okay, so it's brain damage caused by a lack of oxygen, okay? So this is check this out. It's the leading cause of death in infants in the United States.
I had no clue.
Right? I mean, I think it's like 2 or 3 per 1,000. But that's a lot.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. So factors that contribute to this HIE are a lack of blood circulation in the placenta, preeclampsia, I think that's how you say it, preeclampsia, which is a condition that affects moms during the pregnancy. Now, this can be like, blood pressure related stuff or whatever. Congenital infections of the fetus and complications during the delivery process itself. So, I mean, imagine being a parent and, being a new mom or being a mom, giving birth, and the child passes away during this birthing process, right? Just the guilt, the blame, it's going to go somewhere, right? All of this stuff, all of the problems with this, just the heartbreak associated with this anticipation of a new life coming into your family and then gone, right? Then I can't even imagine going through something like that. So until just a few years ago, there wasn't any treatment for it. It was like, there's nothing we can do. They didn't know what to do. Well, then they figured out the standard treatment now is that they use hypothermia with the infant. So it produces neuroprotective effects in the body, including the reduction of brain inflammation, glutamate reproduction, and lowering free radical production. Okay, very important. I want you to remember those 3 things right there. Reduction of brain inflammation, glutamate production, and lowering free radical production.
So you're saying they're putting them in a state of hypothermia?
Yes.
Where they're very, very cold? Is this what I'm getting at? Okay.
Yep. All right, so given within 6 hours of birth, hypothermia can prevent death or severe disability in about 60%.
Wow.
It's another important number, 60% of the cases, okay? So that's still a lot, right, for every 1,000. Let's say you have 2 for every 1,000 that get this condition, and now you're at about half of them that get saved, right? It's still very significant, but it's not good enough, okay? So hypothermia as a treatment is, as I said, a fairly new concept. Before that, nothing could be done. So doctors and scientists are looking for an adjunct to hypothermia to improve successful outcomes and are looking at CBD because it reduces neuroinflammation, minimizes damage caused by oxidative stress, and diminishes glutamate-related excitotoxicity.
Wow, amazing. I don't know if you'll remember a few weeks back, I said something about the belly button having over 72,000 veins linked just to the belly button itself.
Great Scott.
Yes.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. And you mentioned something about the...
Oh, wait, who counts that?
1 and 2. Don't leave me alone.
Oh, I got to start over.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I can understand, everything's just going everywhere. So I could see how that would be very beneficial.
Crazy, right? So and all of those 3 things that I'm talking about considered the 3 main causes of all time. But this is important because this is like, the baby issue is significant. But check this out. All of those things, the neuroinflammation, the damage caused by oxidative stress, and the glutamate-related excitotoxicity, these are considered the 3 main causes of all types of brain damage for people of all ages. We're all struggling with this issue. Okay. So, despite general awareness of these facts, scientists have had a difficult time getting clinical trials going. Okay. But due to a recent preclinical study, this is changing for the better. In a preclinical study, they used hypothermia and CBD together and reduced the brain damage by almost 100%.
Wow. That's
now,
amazing.
Can you imagine being the parent, right? I mean, say, well, we got about 100% chance of fixing this issue. I mean, I like that. So this is amazing news in the CBD world, and it will be a literal miracle for moms and dads across the world. So if you'd like more information about this study that I'm talking about, you can send me an email at marc@eotalkradio.com. Be happy to provide that for you so you can get more information. This is probably one of those things that people don't care about until they care about it. Yeah. Exactly right. And I just, God bless the doctors and the scientists that are chasing this down with a passion. because that's
Absolutely.
what it takes. I mean, to count all of those veins you're talking
Right.
about, or all of those nerves and stuff, it's like, I mean, just the passion for it. We need that. I appreciate what they're doing, because I just can't imagine. That should never happen to any parent.
Yep. And you just said you have about 100% chance. So are you saying that it can't hurt them?
Yeah. So CBD it's non-toxic.
Right. So what you're saying is here's something that could help you. It's not going to harm your child anymore, but it could help them. Even if it was 1% chance, I would say yes, please.
Well, yeah, and with hypothermia alone, which I think people understand hypothermia, they're
Yep.
not going to be necessarily freaked out about it, but they'd be like, yeah, if you have a 60% chance that the baby will be better if we do the hypothermia treatment, then yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
you
New
want
York Minute.
everything, especially if the doctors are telling you that, because people take comfort in what the doctors are telling them, for the most part. But when they say, okay, we have a chance, pretty much 100% chance that your baby will be fine. This is what we're going to be doing. I mean, that's just amazing. I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to that becoming a reality for folks.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so back to my mountains and facing your fears. Not my mountains, but the mountains. My husband, Chris, right? He's been afraid of heights his entire life. And on this trip, he started having some knee pain, which has nothing to do with being afraid of heights, but I'm setting the story up here. So let me go back. He's afraid of heights his whole life, okay? We're up in the mountains, so he's already uneasy. But 3 days before that, he'd been having some knee pain, legit knee pain. And I said, why don't you start taking this CBD? Just try it. So he started taking it. Goodbye knee pain, right? It just magically worked for him. Well, he was able, with me diffusing the peace and calming in the car, with me, rubbing it on the back of his neck, like giving him a hug and rubbing it on the back of his neck, and seeing his daughter face his fears, he was able to do the exact same thing. Like, that was huge, Mark. This is huge. I can remember, 11 years ago, we went to Fiesta, Texas, and I wanted to get on the Ferris wheel because I thought
Oh.
that was a cool romantic date, on the Ferris wheel. Our first kiss could be on the Ferris wheel. And he was like, nope, sorry, ain't going to happen.
Wow.
Like, it's not something he likes to do. He's afraid of heights. He doesn't like elevators, things like that. But this is literally has you over the edge of the mountain. It's built out.
Oh my
and it's
gosh.
got a railing around it, and but it's a deck. It's just wood, and it's there built on the side of the mountain. And he was able to get out there and do that. And he was like, this is huge for me. So I know that combination there of CBD and that peace and calming oil actually helped him overcome that fear of heights that he had, even if it was just for a few minutes. But I thought that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I've been digging into the science behind how people, they have these experiences and they cause, anxiety that lasts a long time, or PTSD type stuff where you have
Right.
this, associated issues with whatever the situation might be. I heard a story one time from a guy that he was over in like Afghanistan, the Middle East stuff, and he got caught up in traffic. And of course, I mean, with the road bombs and all this other stuff going on, that you got to be moving, right? You don't want to get
Okay.
stuck in traffic somewhere. Well, he got stuck in traffic in a big city and just lost it, and kind of took off, did everything he could, like evasive maneuver type stuff to get out of there. But what CBD is doing is it allows folks to actually, if they're on it when they go through a stressful situation, they actually handle the stress better.
Mhm.
I'm using generic terms here, but you go through the stress better and then recover very, very quickly, not get stuck in the cycle that people get stuck in, and they can't ever get out of it. So when you're in a similar situation, you're going to perceive it the same as you had
Right.
experienced it before. Well, CBD can help you let go of that. Just amazing what's being done in the world of stress and stuff like that with CBD. So super exciting. So when you were telling the story about Chris, coming out in because you're high, it's up out
Chris
over.
was coming out.
Well, I'm
Wait,
using my
what?
hands to describe it, right?
Sorry.
But he's walking out on this projection that's out over this deep cavern or whatever,
Right.
the side of the mountain, right? I was remembering the stories or the videos I've seen on Facebook where people are walking across this bridge thing. Well, the thing they're walking across is like a computer screen, and it starts cracking.
Oh, yeah. See, can you imagine?
Well, I've seen the videos.
You would need a
I
poo-poo
don't-
spray.
Yeah. So but people are freaking out. They're grabbing the side of the railing and all getting their feet up high. That cracking, that's not cool to do that. What
That
if
is-
somebody jumped off?
Well,
It's probably not in America. He gets sued, but anyway, I just thought that was
can you
kind of funny.
imagine? But yeah, I'm really proud of Chris for doing that because that's just the beginning.
Yes, it
I mean,
is.
that's just the beginning.
Yep. And I'll bet you, now I know you're talking about, of course, the peace and calming with the CBD, but I'll bet you that CBD had a pretty big part in that role there of that, based
Absolutely.
on the studying that I'm doing. All right, so we got some upcoming events that are going on. San Antonio Empowerment Council is hosting a huge essential oil rally here in San Antonio on Saturday, August 10th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. The keynote speaker is Terry Seacrest, who is a noted author and successful entrepreneur. Her books include A Biblical Perspective on Essential Oils and How Big Is Your Wave, which is focused on the business side of all of that. You can get your tickets now at saecevents.com. And my wife and I will be at La Taza Java Coffee House at 281 Brook Hollow every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to chat CBD and essential oils. So it's a good idea to check our events tab on our website to make sure that we're going to be there. Because sometimes, if we're on vacation, especially during the summer, we might not be there. But generally speaking, we're there every Tuesday. But check our website at eotalkradio.com and look for the events tab to make sure that you get all the updated information.
Awesome. All right. So listen up, moms. I totally had a hashtag Dr. Mom moment this weekend. My little girl, Michaela, I talk about her all the time, 8 years old. She had her first pimple.
Oh.
I know. It was a moment. I even took a picture of her face because I'm going to put it in her little scrapbook. My first
Sure.
pimple, that's the stuff that I do as a mom. And she's like, Mom, what is this? And I said, I don't know. What is it? She's like, touching it. She goes, it hurts. I think it's a pimple. I'm like, oh, I think it is a pimple. So I had to go through the story of, how you get pimples if you don't wash your face properly. And, you have pores in your skin and dirt can get them clogged up and all this stuff. But it was a huge step for me to be able to say, hey, you know what? I have something that's not going to clog your pores. We used, Young Living has a very nice little gentle wash. It's for the babies. A baby bath wash is what it is. I actually have her start using that on her face now. So now she's starting her own regimen of cleaning her face because most kids, 5, 6, 7, 8, they get in the bathtub and they wash. They may not even get their face wet. Seriously. The washing doesn't even go on. I'm just like, wash your pits and, the backside and you're good. But
How are you in the shower for 30 minutes and don't even get your face wet?
I know. It happens. It totally happens with my kid. So I was able to show her how to wash her face properly with a very chemical-free product, right, or plant-based product, and then lavender oil. So I had her put a little bit, just dab it on. It was simple, wash your face. Here's some lavender oil. 2 days later, it's gone. She just has that little. But having that conversation, I'm like, my baby's growing up. It's not easy.
I remember that with Brooke too. Is she? Because she's gone through that. She's got pimples and stuff like that going on. Not a whole lot. She's actually doing pretty well. But yeah, it's kind of neat to go through that. I know Jennifer was really excited about all that. And of course, she started her, her cycles and stuff like that. That was a whole other experience. But it's like, God bless you women for being around to help these girls through this stuff, because I would be running scared. I'm just saying.
I hear you. And I'm just a cop.
Well, I didn't say I was perfect. All right, so I got a little fun fact about CBD. Did you know that it was illegal before it was even discovered?
That makes no sense.
But that's the United States government. Let's just make it illegal. My guess is that somebody knew about it anyway. But so I'll tell you a little bit about the timeline. So cannabis was outlawed by the federal government in 1937 with the passage of the Marijuana Tax Act, which stated that cannabis resin or any extract was considered marijuana, and marijuana was, of course, made illegal. So cannabidiol, which is CBD, is found in the resin and nowhere else in the plant. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I didn't.
But it's found in the resin. It's, by the way, the THC is also found in the resin of the cannabis plant. Oh. So CBD, as the molecule, was not discovered until 1940. So the Tax Act, makes it basically illegal in 1937, and then in 1940, it's discovered by Roger Adams, who first identified and synthesized CBD. 2 years later, he was awarded a patent for his unique method of isolating CBD, by the way. Roger Adams had already observed the pain-killing properties of CBD. This is way back then, right? The pain-killing properties of CBD. By the time he retired in 1957, he had published 27 studies on CBD and other plant cannabinoids. The man who's considered the father of the modern day CBD phenomenon is Raphael Mechoulam. He's a guy from Israel. He actually picked up where Roger Adams left off and elucidated the precise molecular structure of both CBD and THC. So he kind of picked up where all of that left off. But isn't it interesting that something as what we're, at least for me, and of course the world is really discovering CBD and its potential, really the cannabinoids from there's lots of other cannabinoids in the plant, right? But CBD, of course, we know what THC can do. It's the psychoactive part of it. But the CBD has all these amazing benefits, and it's like we're just now learning about them. But yet they were kind of known about a long time ago. Did you see in my webinar, I actually posted the screenshot of the patent. Were you there for that part, or did you miss it?
I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm being honest. I was traveling home.
Sure. No, I got
12
you.
hours in a car.
No hard feelings. You can catch the replay. It's all good. But yeah, so the patent, which was, actually I forget the year it was filed. I think it was 1999 it was filed, but it was actually approved in 2003, that the United States of America owns the patent on CBD.
Ooh, America.
America.
We love it, right?
Crazy.
I actually did catch that part now that you say it. It was highlighted in yellow.
Yes,
I
it
correct?
was.
I do remember. You did a great job. All right. So if you have questions about CBD or you want to share your stories about CBD, please write to us, Marc at EO Talk Radio or Nikki at EO Talk Radio. We would love to hear some stories as we're just getting into all these details about it. Because I know there's amazing testimonies out there. You said it best last night when you said, what is CBD for? Well, let's talk about what it's not for.
It's
because
like it's
the
easier.
list is, way easier for what it's not for. So it's like CBD, ABC, 1, 2, 3. I don't know, something like that.
WXYZ.
Exactly. WKRP.
All right. Well, on our next show, we're going to have even more information about CBD, some really interesting tidbits, facts, news, as well as essential oil DIYs, tips on usage and stuff like that. So we're excited. We'll see you guys again next Sunday, same time, same bat channel.